Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're going to talk about the new Bridgerton collection from Pat McGrath Labs. This is the second round of Bridgerton collaboration releases. We have a lot more products this time, all coinciding with the release of the second season of Bridgerton on Netflix. I am a fan of the show. I have not read the books. Of course, I have already finished season 2. I binged it in like 2 days. I know a lot of people didn't love it. I actually liked it. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or what, but I liked season 2. I liked season 1. Maybe I'm just easy to please, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I was very excited to see that we were getting more Pat McGrath makeup. I do have a video on the first part of this collaboration, the first Bridgerton release from Pat McGrath. So I'll link that down in the description if you want to check that out. I have swatches, tutorial, and all my thoughts on those pieces as well. I am going to be referencing them a little bit in this video, so if you haven't seen any of those pieces before, might be helpful to check that video out too. And I did purchase a couple of things I ordered from the Pat McGrath site, and all of my pieces just arrived. So I'm going to show you close-ups, swatches, we're going to try everything on, and I'm going to give you all my thoughts along the way. There are a couple of things that I did not purchase. So there's an eyeliner. Looks just like a pretty straightforward kohl eyeliner. That's $28. And there's also a body powder. They call it a diamond body shimmer. There are 2 different shades. Those are $52 each. Those just aren't really my type of product. I wasn't super interested in those, but I did want to show them to you just for the sake of including as much as possible in this video. Let's start with cheeks. We have a very large and in charge cheek palette with this collection. This is called Blushing Delights, and it's priced at $60 US. It contains 4 baked powders, 1 highlighter, and 3 blushes. So let's take a close-up look at this Blushing Delights now. Okay, I have very complicated feelings about this blush palette. Typically, I really despise oversized, like super bulky, wasted space type of packaging, and I do have a lot of those feelings about this particular packaging. It is way bigger than it needs to be. It is super pretty. I love the design. I love that we've taken this same theme all across both Bridgerton releases. And I like the idea here of the little baked product palette. I love that the highlighter is heart-shaped. I like baked cheek products. So part of me kind of likes the excessiveness of this because it seems like it fits thematically, and also it's just really different from anything else I have, which I like certain aspects about that. I appreciate the beauty of this. I appreciate the sort of extraness of it, but I still just don't like how much wasted space there is. I am looking at this as a collector's item, a showpiece, and I am somebody that collects makeup aside from also loving it and using it and wearing it. So I do have very complicated feelings. I wish it was a little bit more streamlined. The products themselves are super beautiful. I love all of the blush shades in here. I wish the highlighter was a little bit less glittery sparkly, but overall, product-wise, very pretty. Next, let's talk about the lip products. There are 7 different shades of the Satin Allure lipstick. They're priced at $28 a piece. I purchased 2 of them, so I'm going to give you a close-up look at this really cute packaging. I'm going to do arm swatches, lip swatches, try to give you as much info as possible on these lipsticks because they are pretty darn pricey. Everything in this collection is pricey. So let's get up close and personal with these Satin Allure lipsticks. Now, when I was talking about appreciating a little bit of extraness in that Blushing Delights palette, these lipsticks perfectly encapsulate that feeling without being so excessive. I really feel like they hit the nail on the head here. I love that they went with this really bright pink. I love the bows and the flowers and the jewels and the pearls, and everything is just the perfect amount of extra. Look at the packaging here. The little bows on the lipstick packages themselves are super cute. The shade names are on little stickers on the bottom, but otherwise a pretty sleek look here. These are absolutely stunning packaging wise. I wish that this slightly more streamlined approach was used elsewhere, but overall I still really like the theming and the packaging across this release. I do think the lipsticks are probably my favorite single item. I'm glad that I got two. I wish that I had gotten two shades that were a little bit more different from one another. I guess, I have a type, but I wish I had gone for something slightly more contrasting. However, I know that I'll wear both of these. The formula is a silky, smooth, creamy satin finish. It's extremely comfortable. It has a nice shine on the lips, and I've found a great wear time on these. I've been wearing them for a couple days now as I've been putting this video together. I really like both of them. I don't have a favorite shade. They are kind of interchangeable, so don't be like me. If you're gonna get more than one shade, maybe get something a little more different, or don't. Do whatever you want, frankly. Last but never least is the eyeshadow palette. This is called the Belle of the Ball palette, and it's priced at $65 US. The eyeshadow palette has the same colors and styling as the cheek palette, and as far as the setup of the palette, it is the same layout, same size and shape as the first Bridgerton palette that came out. This is a heavy-duty cardboard packaging, but it does have a plastic insert inside that the eyeshadow pans are set into. This does have a mirror inside. It has a magnetic closure. And the shade names are listed on the back. They are not present inside next to the pans. So this is the only place where you're going to find the actual shade names. And just like the previous palette, we have a couple of cool little imprints on the powders. I've been using mine pretty much as soon as it got here. I started swatching it and using it. So if you want to see what this looked like undisturbed, go check out my Instagram page, Makeup.Just.For.Fun on Instagram. I did a little video where I captured everything before I swatched it so that it could be preserved. As you can see here, there are a bunch of different finishes. According to the Pat McGrath site, there are 5 different finishes in here: matte, satin, super glittery shimmer, regular straight up metallic shimmer. There is so much texture-wise going on in this palette. And all of these finishes play really well together too, which can't always be said for every palette, but you'll get to see this in action a little later on in the video. Now I want to show you a side-by-side with the previous palette because these are actually pretty similar. So the blue packaging was the first Bridgerton palette from Pat McGrath. The main really obvious difference is the metallic green shade in this most recent palette release, but when you see these swatched side by side, they are actually ridiculously similar. It seems like the Belle of the Ball has some more intense pigmentation, whereas the first palette, Diamond of the First Water, is a little bit more of like a sheer wash of color. So there's a lot of overlap color story wise, but I do see these working really well together, but you definitely don't need both by any means. Now that you've seen all of the swatches and all of the close-ups, I want to show you a tutorial so that you can see all of these products in action, and I'll wrap up my thoughts along the way. That way you can see the performance of these products and also hear my little reviews at the same time. Let's start here with the cheek palette. These are incredibly pigmented. I just did the lightest touch and it deposited so much color onto my cheeks. I think these are very beautifully made. You can tell that they are just silky smooth, finely milled, perfectly glowy. They blended in well. I think they look natural but still colorful enough to be present. You could layer them up very easily for a more dramatic look. All in all, product-wise, super happy with these. I loved the blush from the previous collection as well. I will say that between the highlighter being more glittery than my preference and the bulky packaging, I do prefer the little cheek trio from the original Bridgerton collection more than this one. I'm still glad I have this one. I still think, despite its flaws, it's a great showpiece, a great collector's piece, but for strictly use only, I would pick up the original release cheek trio over this one. So I guess it just depends on your personal preference, but the cheek trio from the original release, it's called Love at First Blush. That one is still available. So personally, I would recommend that one over this one. And I already mentioned I really, really like the lipsticks. I think the two shades I got are maybe a little bit too similar, and I wish I would have gone for a bolder choice for my second lip. But all in all, that's my absolute favorite piece, top recommendation from this collection. It's just such an easy go-to type of product. I think most people appreciate a nice comfy satin lipstick. And also the packaging is just top-notch adorable. I realize that's not a priority for everybody, but if you are feeling this collaboration vibe and you're interested in getting something really cute and special, the lipsticks, the Satin Allure lipsticks are absolutely that for me. Now, when it comes to the eyeshadow palette, I do think that the two Bridgerton palettes are a little bit more similar than I would prefer. I do wish that there was a little bit more of a contrast between the two palettes. However, unlike the blush palettes, I like this eyeshadow palette release more than the first one. And I really liked the first palette. I love the Pat McGrath textures, how easy these are to use, how easily they blend and work together. It's just an absolute dream to work with. They are very, very pricey, but if I'm going to spend a luxury price tag, then I want a high-performing, interesting, beautifully packaged product, and that's what I feel like I get from these. So I like this new eyeshadow palette a little bit more. I like the intensity of the Belle of the Ball palette. I like this green shade a lot, and Diamond of the First Water, the original first palette, is lovely too if you like a softer look, and if you're not into this green, then I still recommend that palette. I still think it's great, but my personal preference is the more intense, more opaque finishes in this Belle of the Ball palette. I can see myself getting a few more different types of looks out of this one as well, because I can go with either a blue or a green, or I can go completely neutral as well. So I just think this one is a little bit more intense, a little bit more dynamic, both beautiful. I think they could both work well together. So my top recommendation is the Satin Allure lipstick, followed by this eyeshadow palette, the Belle of the Ball palette, and the Love at First Blush cheek trio from the original release. Since I haven't tried everything, I would also love to hear about the pieces that I haven't picked up that you have tried. I'm always curious to hear about the things that weren't exactly enough of my style for me to purchase. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Have you picked anything up from the previous Bridgerton release? Are you a fan of the show? Are you a fan of the second season? I always love to hear what you think about things too. Even if we don't exactly agree, that's always okay. I like to hear what you think about things too. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Hello, my beautiful friends! What are you doing? That's not what you do. That's not what you do. Here, you be here. Pat McGrath and bleh, bleh. Oh, editing Amanda, take this part, put it before that part. You know what to do. You have to clean up filming Amanda's messes all the time. You know what to do. You thought it was just bulky, oversized packaging, but really is useful as a drum. Whew, okay, where was I? Alright. Don't say that. Show the close-up and you do the swatches, yada yada yada. Hello. Oh, that shine on the eyeshadow. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. It is just mesmerizing. Okay, I have gotten distracted by my eyeshadow 100 times in the past 30 minutes. That may be a new record. Maybe not. Insert kombucha girl meme now. I am so shiny and I really love that. I just want to be a glowing goddess. Oh, and I'm wearing some earrings that have like a little olive and gold flower. These are from my Etsy shop because I knew I wanted to do this little like olivey gold look. So, you know, since we don't have matching nails, we can have matching earrings today. Okay, that's it. That's all. I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope you know that I love your face, and I will see you back here real soon. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.